Welcome back to Genre. I'm your host, Katie.
And I'm Elise.
And today we're going to be talking about The Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clarke. But first, we have some things to say.
We sure do. You seem like you had one right off the bat. So you want to go first?
Okay, so it's actually some bookish news, I guess you could say, that Alchemy of Secrets is going to be a series by the one, the only, Julie Plec.
Oh my God, your fave.
You
Vampire
know how Julie
Diaries.
Plec.
It is Vampire Diaries, right? Yeah. For a second,
Yeah.
I was like, Pretty Little Liars? No, Vampire Diaries. And
No. No, but did you ever watch what is it called? Vampire Academy. There was a Vampire Academy series by Julie Plec. No, I bet you didn't.
I don't think I did. I'm trying to think if I did, and I don't think I did. Maybe I watched some of it. Was it very bad?
I kind of loved it, but it was camp.
Yeah. I don't think I have. I think I'm getting it confused with the Shadow Hunter series.
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
that's
terrible.
what I'm getting. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of when I think of it.
Yeah, that was god-awful, but...
Yeah.
And so was that movie, but I have hope for this, because did we not say that this would be a terrific movie or TV show?
Yes, because it was it has the whole old Hollywood feeling anyway, and it was very much like a quest. I could see spin-offs. I could see like weird bottle episodes where we just go deep into like one of the quest keepers. The timekeeper or something.
We don't know anything about Holland St. James's sister.
No, we do not. And she's supposed
questing
like
in Europe.
Yeah, and she's like the starter of all this action.
Yeah.
Leaver of clues.
Yep. So that was my news, and I am chuffed.
Yeah, that is very exciting. That's a good one.
Yep. All right, what you got?
So I have two. I'm going to start with this one because I'm really proud of it, and it's going to be my new and my improved reading journal.
Oh, yep.
So as everybody has noted, as I talked about at the beginning of the year, I made a reading journal this year in an attempt to beat Goodreads at its own game because it's so bad at it. And then it became an obsession of mine. Like I really kept up with it for 3 months, and I was like, I'm going to turn it into a craft, like a full on craft.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. So it's honestly gorgeous. I'm like really proud of it. It like came out at a bar last night. I didn't mean it to, and I had like many people, strangers at the bar, telling me how gorgeous it was. And
how thick is it? Can you close it? Let me see.
And it's not even done yet. So like this is like these are all blank. No, sorry, these are blank pages over here.
Wow.
See, and then all of this. So what I did though, why it's so big, is that I have all of my original spreads, but I added like a TBR spread, like a monthly favorite spread.
Wow.
And then I kept my like sort of monthly logs like here so I could write. But then I was keeping reviews of everything that I wrote, but the way I was doing it in the other one, like it was too much detail. It was like too much for me to keep up with, but I still wanted to do it. So I split it in between genre book reviews, which are a little bit bigger. And then like my other book reviews are like shorter, and I keep them bunched together so it's not as much. But they're still like keeping the same thing. And because, of course, I got too into it and I couldn't find the like exact stickers I wanted, or like these book plaques like that I have here just to like name what it is. I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. So, I mean, I did what any crafty gal would do. I went and I bought a Cricut so I could then make all of it. So now I'm back. I had a Cricut when I was younger and then gave it away because I didn't need it anymore. And now it turns out I need it again. But now that I'm back on the Cricut train a couple of years later, they have many other options.
I know.
Like and much lower cost, much smaller space. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Say no more. I will just get a Cricut Joy Extra for under $200, and this is everything I need. It fits in my suitcase. I brought it to New York with me, Katie,
I was
so I could craft in New York.
going to say, is it still here in Delaware? Because I don't see it. But no, you brought it in your bag.
I brought it in my bag. It was like I had to make room in my suitcase for it. It was like it was the first thing I packed. It was too important to me to leave down in Delaware. How was I gonna continue doing my book journal? But
Wow.
I'm pretty much caught up with all of my reviews. I still have to do April a little bit, but it's there. I really want to do some TikTok stuff about it, but I just don't know how to film it. And I
Yeah.
wish I did. I've been looking at, like, journal accounts to see, like, how they're doing it,
Yeah.
and it's just so it's being an influencer is so hard, Katie, but I do wanna
I
share
know.
my book journal with the world because the bar really liked it last night,
I
so
know.
certainly the internet must, but how
That
do I do it?
you think, right? Who
I
knows?
know.
Who frickin' knows? I really laugh, that just reminded me of our next book that we're reading, which is Yesteryear.
Yes, I know. I just started it. I'm like a few chapters in.
All right, let's get into the book. So, I'm just going to give a quick, short synopsis and reminder this is our spoiler free section. So, if you want to learn more about the book before you read it, you can listen to this part and we will sound the spoiler alarm before we get into any more details. So, a group of writers are invited to a secluded private island for a prestigious literary salon, only to find out that the host has died and left his final novel unfinished. They're given 72 hours to write the ending, with a massive book deal on the line. What starts as a high stakes competition quickly turns into a locked room mystery where people start dying.
Bum,
Bum, bum,
bum,
bum. Yes. So the author for this is Evelyn Clarke, which is actually a pen name for Victoria Schwab, aka V.E. Schwab, and Kat Clarke. Kat Clarke has written YA books, but I think is also now into uh
like
like
screenwriting, I
Hollywood
think.
screenwriting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we all know Victoria Schwab from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
The
And
Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
and various other very awesome books. So this is their sort of brainchild. The book is told in multiple POVs, and every chapter sort of switches to another character. And when we get into the characters, we'll kind of go through why that is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of POVs.
All right. So for genre, I mean, this to me is a mystery.
But I think what makes it a little bit different is that there is a lot of commentary on the publishing industry
Yeah,
here.
that's
And
true.
I don't know, I think satire is too strong of a word. Like, I wouldn't call this like a satire,
Yeah.
but there's like so much commentary on the publishing industry that it is sort of it has another layer above just like a classic mystery novel.
I actually felt like I learned so much. And when we were talking to Nick and Dina in the off book, when they were talking about plotter and
Versus
pantser,
it came up.
it came up in the book. And I was like, wow, look at
I know.
us
Look at us. Just
learning.
there's a few things where I was like, I almost wanted to text Nick and be like,
Yeah.
What does earn out mean?" I mean, I think I can guess. It's like when you get an advance for your book. I think if your book is supposed to make that amount of money, and then
Yeah.
if you earn out of whatever your advance was, then that's like when you
You
start getting
start making
royalty
money.
money and like
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But that's just my assumption based on a previous conversation I had with Dina. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was fascinating. I also put it kind of has, because there's so many narrators, a little bit of an unreliable narrator. You're getting things from their point of view, which might not actually be what's happening, but it's
Yeah.
not too much of an unreliable narrator because I don't
No.
like that.
No, I wouldn't. It's not a classic unreliable narrator. It's just
No.
it is a very third person limited like POV style. So you're just getting theirs, and there's just so many of them
Yeah.
that it feels like maybe other people could be lying. It gives like a lot of uncertainty, which sort of
Yep.
works with the mystery whodunit aspect of it.
Yep. All right. So let's set the scene. How does this book start? So all of these authors are invited to a remote Scottish island by a famous mystery writer, Arthur
Mhm.
Fletch. All of these different authors are from different genres, different backgrounds. They don't know each other generally. The second they arrive, all of their electronics are confiscated. So they don't have
Mhm.
phones, laptops, no outside contact. Um, and then the twist kind of comes. Arthur Fletch is dead, and they were invited here because his novel is unfinished to finish the end of that novel. So they get 72 hours to write the ending on typewriters, since they don't have any other form, I guess, besides paper and pen. And whoever essentially wins gets a massive book deal and kind of a life-changing payout, which is all something that these authors, you can tell, are hungry for. None of them are at the level that Arthur Fletch is.
No. Another thing I learned, which I think I've heard before but didn't really know, is that they're all mid-list authors, which is that they sell, I guess, and that's like the word, they're calling it purgatory in the book, but it's like when the writer makes just enough that the publisher will keep them on, but they're never going to be a lead author. Like, the chances that they get famous are relatively low, but they do have fans. They can sell books, but not to any sort of, huge level. They probably won't be able to quit their jobs, for example.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into the characters, because there's a bunch of them. I think this is the first character that we meet, which is Kate.
Yes.
And Kate's a debut author. She is at the same publishing company, right, as Arthur Fletch.
She has the same literary agent.
Yeah, so same literary agent.
And Evelyn is like a minor character, like comes in and out of the book, but she is like one of the most prestigious literary agents in the biz. And so we find out that the reason why all of these authors were invited to this event was because they'd all queried Evelyn at one time or another, and Evelyn didn't take them on except for Kate. And she's just like, you guys could do this, and that's why I picked you. And so she's sort of like once they find out why they're really there, it's because of their connection to her.
Yep. And Kate's young. Maybe she's like 22 or something like that. Definitely the youngest person that's there.
She's a thriller writer as well. So, but like, she hasn't written anything. Eleanor picked her up because she submitted.
Yeah, like what she submitted was great.
What she submitted was really great, and it reminded her of Arthur Fletch. It was like a thriller sort of novel, but it was like nothing more than a couple of chapters.
Yep. Okay. And then we've got Sienna and Malcolm, and they are a married thriller mystery writing duo, and they don't like each other.
No. They've, in fact, well, at least Sienna's decided to divorce him, but then he convinces her to stay on for this salon because they were invited as their pen name, which is oh no, why am I forgetting
Penn
their pen
Stoneley?
name? Penn Stoneley. Yeah, Penn Stoneley's and Penn Stoneley was invited, not Sienna and Malcolm. So he convinced her to stay on. And it's clear that he wants to stay together, but it's also kind of clear that he's a bit of a doofus and she's over it.
Seems like an idiot.
Yeah. And she just wants to write for herself. She does all of the writing anyway, and he gets all of the credit because he's a white man and his picture's on the back of the novel.
Yep. And then we've got Millie, and she is the bubbly YA author, Girl Scout energy. Mm-hmm. I imagine her as kind of like a Legally Blonde character.
They mentioned that she has like big curly blonde hair, and that's just like all I could picture. Just like a big fluff of curly bopping
bouncing
around. Curly blonde hair bopping around the mansion.
Yep. And then we've got Jackson with an X.
Very important, with an X.
He likes to make that known. And he's a sci-fi bro. He writes science fiction. He is a bro. Like one of the most annoying kind that eats clean, you know? And he's exercises all the time.
Yeah, he's running multiple times a day. He brought his own like gym equipment with him so he could do his workouts. And he's not just doing it quietly. He's letting everybody know how much better he is than they are for doing all of these things. And like when they have a cookie, he's like, sugar's worse than cigarettes. Or like that sort of guy. And everybody's like, I hate this guy.
Yeah. Annoying. And then we have Kenzo. Love Kenzo.
Yeah.
Kenzo is a horror writer, and he knows a lot about murder. He knows a lot about the biz.
For sure. And he's kind of like, he does seem like a little goth, if you will.
Yeah.
But like
he's level-headed almost.
Yeah. Well, I think when we get a little bit more of like a look into him, we find out that he's really doing this as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like everybody else is really trying to make it. And I think Kenzo would like to make it as a writer. I don't think he'd say no, but he's doing this because he loves it and he does it on the
Yeah,
side. He was never expecting to have to quit his day job.
for sure. And then we've got Priscilla, and she is a romance author. She kind of reminds me of like the mom of the group.
Yeah. And she's a cool pen.
Yeah.
She's a cool pen that's a brooch. And like that's why I'm like, I want this. Like it gets explained and it's a brooch and it seems like a gorgeous flower. But somehow
I
it's
love
also a
brooch.
pen. You take it out and then it's a pen and it writes in red ink, which is her signature. And every other writer is like, how dare you
I know.
give me a red pen to sign this NDA with?
I love a brooch.
You do love a brooch.
You know who she reminds me of? Who's that mean lady in Harry Potter that comes in? That professor.
Oh, Dolores Umbridge?
Yeah. I feel like her outfits. That's what it reminds her.
That's true, because she's constantly wearing some version of pink. Like,
yeah.
Her whole thing is very pink.
Yep. Did you have any other characters?
Arthur Fletch is sort of like almost the setting. Like Arthur Fletch is everywhere and nowhere.
Yep.
In the book. So
because they're at his house, literally.
They're at his house, and it's like full of all just memorabilia of his own writing. He has a library full of just his own books in every language and every special edition, and it is 1,000 tomes because he is like one of the most successful writers in the world. And it's crazy. It is a interesting house, it sounds like, for sure.
Yeah. He's definitely an eccentric guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's giving. I know exactly what this is giving.
Tell us.
Knives Out
Yeah.
and Glass Onion. Like, it is exactly that type of, we're all together in one place, people start dropping like flies, and who's the killer?
Yeah, I said Agatha Christie too, which all of those are based on.
Okay. And then do you think our mother would read this book?
I think she might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she might. I think she would. It's not too violent. Obviously, this is a mystery and we said people start dying, but it's not super graphic.
No. And it's a little silly. I don't think it's like silly, but it's a little silly. So it also downplays it a bit.
I mean, some of these people are dying in what I have to say. Unfortunately.
Unfortunate ways.
Really unfortunate ways.
Yeah. But no, I think she would.
Yeah, I agree. All right, you want to hit us with your one-line plot?
6 writers, 1 creepy island, a suspiciously lucrative ghostwriting contest, and a murder plot that somehow plays second fiddle to big publishing for the big bad.
That's good. I like that.
Big publishing.
Big publishing, just like Big Dentist.
Exactly. Big Dentist is the worst of all the bigs, honestly.
We hate Big Dentist.
We hate Big Dentist.
All right, mine is, when ambition takes over, a 72-hour writing retreat on a remote island turns into a deadly fight for fame, fortune, and survival.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm on the nose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was pretty on the nose, but also true.
Yep.
High level, Katie. Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. What about you?
I liked it too. I have a couple things I want to talk about, though. Yeah. Like, I feel like this is another one where I know what I wrote down in my reading journal.
Yeah.
The amount of stars that I gave this, but depending on this conversation, it could change by the time I get to the end. Yeah. So we'll see.
All right, let's hit the spoilers. So if you have not read this book yet, we're sounding the spoiler alarm right now.
Spoiler alert.
I wonder if we got like a button that just played the spoiler alarm.
That's true. Or we could couldn't we make a noise and then do it and then like have it play as a noise? We could put it in.
Yeah, but you know those buttons that are like, it's easy.
Yeah, we could definitely do like a...
Like, I want to like press it.
Yeah, that would be funny. We definitely could. We could definitely do something like that.
Yeah. We could also make merch. It's a spoiler alarm. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
Love merch, as you can tell.
I know. We're just making merch for ourselves. I guess if you If anybody's interested in genre merch outside of our family and friends, let me know.
Yeah. Let us know. All right. When did you decide if you did or did not like this?
So I do think it sucked me in right away.
Yeah.
Like, I was interested. It was like there was sort of like the twist right off the bat, which wasn't really the twist. It was the setup that like Fletch was dead.
Yeah.
And I also liked all of the commentary on the publishing industry with all of these writers. Like, I thought like that was like something that kept me in. It wasn't just all murder, murder, murder. And in fact, there was very little murder until like halfway through the book. So it was like a lot of that setup and getting to know the characters and sort of the situation for a fair amount of time. I do think, and we can get more into it as we go through. I kind of found the plot to be like a little wonky, I want to say. And I don't know if I liked the ending, I guess, is really what it comes down to.
Well,
But I didn't hate it. But I didn't love it.
I have some questions about that where I was like a little confused. I thought maybe it felt like I missed something. I'll tell you when I felt like I missed something. So I think we can just start getting right into it. So Sienna is the first one to die.
Yeah.
And once she dies, that's when I realized I think that's when I realized like the point of view chapters were super important.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if I really realized that at first. I was just basically like assuming that this was just going to be everyone's kind of point of view, but how it ended up playing out is basically if it was your point of view, you were going to die.
You were going to die. Yeah, I realized that too. So like it was sort of set up as the part 1 where we get to know everybody, no murder in part 1, and that's like 100 pages basically. And then part 2 is where we get these Sienna sections. For her, we got some like notes of hers or letters of hers, even like interspersed in there, like about like things that had happened in the past. Yeah, and then we realize, as you said, that once that happens, it's because they're about to be dead or about to leave the island because Rufus, the assistant, whose name is really Hector or something.
Hector?
Not Hector. Hal. Holden.
Holden.
Holden, who was pretending to be the editor. He got a little chapter and he didn't die, but he did take the boat off the island because he was being, chased by what he thought was the ghost of Arthur Fletch, but was not.
All right, so I think one of the plot twists was that Priscilla, who the romance author was, we find out, I mean, over like halfway through the book, that she is actually Arthur Fletch's editor and has been his editor forever.
Yeah.
And when Evelyn comes to her with this crazy idea of having all these authors come to the island to help finish this book, Ava was like, I want to be in the room with them because if I'm going to have to work with them, I want to like know their vibe without them putting on a show for me.
Yeah, she's like, I've been working with an insane but very talented writer for years, and I would like it if I would actually take less talent and less insanity. So I can also choose them based on, their personality.
Yeah. And Rufus, aka Holden, is her
assistant.
Intern.
Yeah, who's like a Nepo baby, who's just like either the son or the grandson of the person who owns the publishing company.
Yeah.
And he tried to do something. I feel like he tried to be a doctor or something, and they're like, get out of here. And so now he's just settling for the publishing industry.
Yep. And so when Evelyn comes to sort of explain the rules to everybody, he stands in as Arthur Fletch's editor, and he's living in the guest house, so not in the main house with everybody. And he's the one that is judging the endings as people turn them in. So he's just like chilling by himself in a lovely little guest house, not having to deal with all this drama. And then he's like, you know what? Fuck everybody. Nobody appreciates me.
Yeah. And I have opinions. I have opinions, and I'm reading some of these endings, and Priscilla doesn't want to hear my ideas. And then the lights go out and he gets chased by who he thinks is Arthur Fletch, and it's not. So he just steals the boat and leaves them even all more stranded on this island.
He's like, I'm a rich kid. I know how to sail. So let me just take this boat and be out.
Yeah.
And he does. He literally does. Good for him.
And I love that you're like, Holden knows what's up. That's not how you're supposed to feel about Holden.
I know. these people aren't appreciating me.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I love it. Should we give who the actual killer is? Who
I
it
think
ends
so.
up being?
Yeah.
It's Kate. It's the
sweet
young
summer
author.
child, they called her at one point. It's like, oh, sweet summer child, somebody said to her, and she's just here murdering people. She's so small, it sounds like, too. Not a large girl, not a particularly fit girl, and she is just murdering full-grown adults.
Yeah. And in some heinous ways. She was creepy. Once it was divulged that she was the killer, I was like, ooh, I don't know. She reminds me of like a creepy child, you know?
Yes. Like creepy child, or like a live doll or something. Yeah. I hate possessed dolls. She sort of reminded me of that once
I don't
she
like
was
possessed
revealed.
children. I don't like possessed dolls.
No, keep those out of my stories. But I didn't see it coming because, and the book even said this. Like, the book was very like self-aware, because I think it was Kenzo. I wouldn't have even been able to write that. It was too obvious. Like, it should have been like, she should have been a red herring. It like shouldn't have been her because it was too obvious. But then it was, and it was sort of, again, zany, just like this creepy possessed doll child going around murdering people. And then I think my favorite part is that she was doing this for no reason. She was doing it because her mother wanted to be a writer, and it was like took up all of her mother's time, and her mother never had time for her. So she decided she was just going to trick the publishing industry by putting Arthur Fletch's books into ChatGPT.
Yep.
And then having it spit out like 3 chapters of something that was like Arthur Fletch but wasn't Arthur Fletch, and then sent it in, and then tricked Evelyn into being her literary agent. And when they found out, when not Priscilla, what's her real name? Priscilla's name is Ava. When she tells Ava this, and Ava finds out that like she was AI, Ava was she was like you used AI? And I'm like, she's killing people. But she was much more upset. This woman sent in AI chapters.
I was driving because I was listening to the audiobook, and so I didn't have a chance to highlight it. But Ava says something like, if I die because of fucking ChatGPT, because this crazy psycho lady got onto this island by using ChatGPT, she's like, that's not the way I want to go out.
Yeah, that's not the way I want to go out. And she like really, really was murdering people in bad ways. Can I go to one of my scene stealers for a second, and then we can go back to like the final twist? Because you think that would be the twist, but no, there was another one. Yeah. But one of my scene stealers was just when Ava was running downstairs after she finds out that, Kate's the killer, and she sees Kenzo just impaled on antlers, because there was like this big antler thing, ornate like, I don't know, antler ornate like decor at the bottom of the stairs, and he was just impaled on the antlers, and I was like, ew, gross, ew, gross. But then she went into a whole like inner monologue in her head talking about Chekhov's gun, because then that's like a literary theory where everything in your story should have a purpose. So if you're describing something, like if there's a big thing of antlers at the bottom of the stairs, then those antlers are going to have to impale somebody. Like you should,
like there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for why they're there. And I thought that was both really gross, but also kind of funny at the same time.
And that was kind of so as Kate's going, killing all these people, it's like she planned it, but almost not really.
Yeah.
Which was kind of confusing. So like, okay, Sienna dies by falling down the stairs and basically getting a typewriter thrown on top of her.
Yeah.
And Kate set that up in that she was trying to poison everybody to make them like super sleepy, but Sienna just happened, not poison, I guess, but like give them some sort of like sleeping potion.
Drug them.
Yeah, but Sienna drank it so fast. And so when she was like coming out of her room, she almost clumsily fell down the steps. But of course, I mean, then Kate tossed that typewriter.
Kate was there to help her down.
Give her a little push.
Yeah. I think it's important to note too that, and I don't think this is why Kate like got herself into Evelyn's circle or anything like that, but when she got to the island, she did one of the reasons why she, example, wanted everybody to be sleepy was that she wanted to look around the house
Yeah.
to find Arthur Fletch's golden book, which was like this a rumor, this like urban legend about one of the many urban legends about Arthur Fletch is that he bought this like very expensive, ornate, pure gold book,
Yep.
and she wanted to find it so she basically just could be rich. Like that
Yep.
was like, I don't know if she came to the island thinking she was going to kill everybody, or if once she was there and found out that the book was probably somewhere, that's when she started killing everybody. That to me wasn't super clear.
Oh, I kind of thought that she went with the mindset of killing everybody because she
Yeah.
was either going to win
Or
or she was
get this
going
book.
to get this book. And I wonder if because they had to take all of like technology, she was like, well, shit, I can't have ChatGPT write the ending for me. So now I got to
Yeah,
get this I'm not going to win, so I got to get this golden book.
yeah.
Like, what an idiot. Like, only, like, a weird eccentric author would have what I imagine is, like, 100-pound
Golden book.
golden
Hidden
book.
under the floorboards. So yeah, let's go through like the deaths. So you said
Sienna dies from falling down the steps
Yeah.
and getting a typewriter tossed in her face.
Yeah.
Malcolm was next.
Malcolm was one of my scene stealers too, because this was the only person that Kate didn't kill because Malcolm was a dummy and basically accidentally killed himself.
He killed himself.
He didn't mean to. He just accidentally killed himself.
So stupid.
And I love this setup because Sienna did most of the writing in their partnership. It wasn't like he did nothing, but she did most of it.
Yeah.
And she wrote with very messy handwriting and also in a shorthand type of code. But she was like, so she would handwrite everything. And he couldn't read it. He couldn't understand it. And he would always complain to her about it. And she would always be like, it's right in front of your face. Like, if you just look, if you just used your eyes and read, you would be able to read it.
Yeah.
And when she died, he was sad that she was dead. I mean, like but he was also really
Sort of,
drunk.
yeah.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
also really drunk and also sort of concerned about could he still win this contest.
Yep.
And so he found her notebook and was trying to figure out what she wrote because she had a great idea the night before. Like the entire room saw Sienna have a great idea for the ending of this book and she like wrote it down in her shorthand messily. And so
Yep.
he's outside overlooking the cliffs, sitting on a bench, just trying to figure out what she wrote. And then he does figure it out. He finally sees that she's had
the key.
She's had a key in the back of the book the entire time, and he figures it out. But then pages go flying towards the cliff, so he runs to go get them, gets them, and is so excited that he doesn't realize how close to the end of the cliff he is. And then somebody yells for him, and he just like gets a little bit of a shock, falls off the cliff, and that's how he dies.
He dies. He literally accidentally falls off a cliff. And Kate says at the end, she's like, couldn't have planned that one better myself.
Yeah.
You know?
That worked out great.
That worked out. Okay, and then who's next? So Jackson is next.
Jackson's next. And Jackson was the one who yelled at Malcolm, being like, don't jump. And he wasn't going to, but then it surprised Malcolm, and then he did fall off the cliff. And so everybody was like, Millie saw
do it?
Yeah, Millie saw Jackson close to them. And so Millie is convinced that Jackson's the killer. And which he's not, but he's not really doing himself any favors because he's been just like a rude gym bro the entire time. So they're like, lock him in his room.
Yeah. And at this point, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's Millie. Like, Millie's kind of being suspicious to me right now.
Yeah.
But they lock Jackson with an X in his room and say that they'll bring him up food.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Jackson's chapter, and he's kind of talking about his background and things like that. And it also seems like he gets a great idea and is, the first time he starts writing in almost years. And next thing you know, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm being choked by my resistance band, my bro gym that I brought with me.
His like the heaviest possible resistance band on the market that he was using just before to finish his workout.
Yeah.
Is what chokes him
to death. And so when they bring up dinner, I think it's Millie and Priscilla at that time, they see that he's dead. And now they're like, this is no longer.
Because this is truly like a locked door. They had locked him in the room from the outside. No one should have been able to get in. Yep. And of course, as all old creepy houses do, there's a lot of secret passageways in this house. And several people, like when we were following them around, had figured out some of the path, like the secret passageways. But Kate had obviously done a little bit of extra work to figure out where these all go.
Yep. And then the next one to bite the dust is Millie.
Yeah.
Millie. Yeah.
And why am I forgetting how Millie bites the dust?
Because so Priscilla is in the room with Jackson's dead body and is like Priscilla and Millie. And Kate and Kenzo come running up the steps because they heard them scream. And then I think Priscilla says, "You guys go find something." I don't know. They both go back downstairs. Kate
I think Kenzo goes down because he's like, "I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna smash the safe." Because they had one point they had tried to get their stuff out of the safe, and it didn't work. And then so he was like, I'm gonna try and smash it. We need to call somebody. People are dying. So he leaves to do that.
And then Kate goes with him.
Kate goes with him, and then Millie. It's just that, and Millie is convinced herself that it's Priscilla. Millie goes into Priscilla's room and sees that Priscilla has Millie's ending, her like typed ending, because she's the only one who had finished it and sent it in. And of course she does. She's the editor, but nobody knows that.
Nobody knows it.
Millie thinks that she's killing people to steal their endings.
Yep.
And Millie goes like after Priscilla, and as she's doing Kate comes. Yeah.
Wait, they all have like ancient artifact weapons, because this house has these like random like giant hatchet or swords.
Because they have like suits of armor and things like that. It's a creepy old eccentric's house on an island in Scotland. So there's just all sorts of weird sharp objects for them to pick up along the way.
Then Millie is coming after Priscilla, and then Priscilla's looking, behind her and sees Kate coming after Millie with the giant stupid.
It's a mace. So I had to just look it up in the book. Yes. And so so Kate swings a mace and like crushes Millie's head in. And Kate tries for a second to be like, "Oh,
she was going to kill you.
She was going to kill you. I was just helping you." And then it was very quickly that Kate was like, "That was found out." And then like her entire demeanor changes.
Oh, that's so creepy. Like just thinking of like a nice, like sweet, innocent person, then like immediately you see their eyes change and you're like, "Oh no.
Oh God. No. Oh God. It's a murderer. I'm here with the murderer."
And so that kind of kicks off the ending. So now Ava runs out of the house, sees Kenzo impaled by the antlers. And
Chekhov's gun.
She's out the door.
Yeah, and we get the backstory that, Kate's here for the AI backstory, Kate's here for the book, all that jazz. And then she gets distracted for a second, and then Priscilla takes that opportunity to book it out the door.
Yep.
Into like a rainstorm, of course. Because, of course, it's absolutely raining. And
very
then
stormy.
There's the chase that happens. Priscilla gets on a rowboat, which who knows why that was there or when that got there, gets on a rowboat. Kate jumps like a vampire from the dock to just land in the rowboat. That was another one of the scene. I'm like, what is this? This tiny slip of a 22-year-old girl swinging maces, jumping, just defying air, just jumping into rowboats. There's a struggle, and then Kate eventually falls into the water and won't let go of the book.
That's like 100 pounds
and drowns, and that's the end. That's the last we see of Kate. And Priscilla.
She
presumably just
makes it off the island.
Ava just like stays in that rowboat and it's just like, fuck it, get me out of here.
So a couple things. So like, I have no idea how Ava gets off this island. We learned that Kenzo, in fact, is not dead.
Yeah. That's
also
his last
day
twist.
job. Yeah. The last twist is, we find this out a little earlier in the book, but his day job is like a forensic tech expert. So he works with crime scenes all the time. So he's a great horror novelist, right? He knows all about these crime scenes and what happens. He gets himself off those antlers.
Yeah, like which is also a very gross scene where he describes how painful it is as he like I don't know, shimmies his way off of the antlers. Ugh.
Yeah. And then the groundskeeper who kind of looks like Arthur Fletch.
Yeah, and was not supposed to be there, but
Yeah.
was there the entire time. So there was a
Yep.
bunch of red herrings that maybe Arthur Fletch was alive.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was just this guy
Wearing his hat.
wearing Arthur Fletch's hat, which we find out
Yeah.
Arthur Fletch stole from this guy. So,
Yeah. It's in fact this guy's hat.
yeah.
So this guy essentially nurses Kenzo back to health and stitches him up and calls for help.
Yeah.
And what I don't understand, this was one of the confusing things, is at the end, Eleanor comes back to the house and she collects all of the phones and whatever, laptops, all those devices from the safe when it opens. And like, she's like, nobody will be needing this anymore.
Yeah, just looks around and is like, what a mess. And I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of murdered people sitting around.
Yeah. So, I left this questioning, did this crazy Eleanor woman think this was going to happen?
I don't think so. I think because of sort of like the epilogue.
Yeah.
That's pretty much finding out that Kenzo isn't dead and like Evelyn just sort of going in and being like, that didn't work, huh? And like taking all the devices was like the end of like the main story. And then in the epilogue, we find out that like Ava and Evelyn meet and are just like, that was insane. Like that was insane. That went terribly. So I don't think they meant to do it. And basically Ava was just like, I'm gonna give this 6 more months, this whole publishing thing. And that if this doesn't work out, and it might not, I'm retiring upstate, which she does end up doing.
Yeah.
They decide to just publish Arthur Fletch's last book unfinished instead of having an ending and that actually turns out to be a real marketing coup for them. So they didn't even need to try to get these people to write the ending to the book because they just writing it as it is was actually the better idea. And Evelyn basically pays off Kenzo to stay quiet.
Yep. Because he survives.
Because he survives. Is the only one who survived by giving him the deal that they were going to give anybody who finished the book. And then allowing him to basically write the story of everybody in the house. It's like, and that's the book he's like basically launching at the end of the epilogue.
And it's like a huge deal. He signed with Evelyn.
Yeah.
Like,
this is guaranteed to go number one. He doesn't need his day job anymore, even though he was the only one who was cool to do this as a hobby in the first place. So big publishing really worked out for him, but it's only because he survived a massacre and has decided to stay quiet about it. So big publishing basically covered up a mass murder.
Yeah. But then, they also say something like, or maybe it's Ava that she's like, I wonder why Eleanor picked these people. Is it because they didn't really have anyone? They all came from like really tight circles and most of them didn't have family or friends.
It's possible. You know what we also don't see? And if we learned anything from How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates, we don't. We never see Kate's dead body. We're just told that she drowns because she didn't let go of the book. So what if we're wrong and Evelyn just employs Kate as her little murder bot when she needs to get things done? Maybe, who knows, if there's a sequel, maybe that's something that happens. Because we never see the body.
Freaky.
And if you don't see the body,
they ain't dead.
They ain't dead.
We just had to have a quick pause there because I just said the literary agent's name was Eleanor. And that reminded me that this entire time, I think we've been calling her Evelyn.
I was positive that it was Evelyn. In fact, I looked it up before I thought I looked it up before I came on here. But when I just looked it up in the book right now, it's Eleanor. It's Eleanor. So that's on me.
Yeah. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Classic Elise not getting the name correct. I really could have sworn it was Evelyn. I swear I looked it up before I
was like, well, how silly was that? I think I would have clocked that that's the name of the author and then the literary agent.
That's why I did that. That's like, that was me just getting those two things confused.
I just said organically Eleanor, and I was like, I think that's right.
Yeah. I think my sister Elise has been wrong this entire time.
Yep. Okay, I have a quick little game, or not really a game, but just like a question.
Okay.
So, if Kate didn't kill everybody, who do you think would have won?
Oh, it's a good question. I think Sienna
Yeah,
would have. I think she
that's what.
really had a good idea, and I think she was the best thriller writer out
Yeah,
of everybody. And I think it would have been between Sienna and Kenzo, I think.
yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Okay, I thought the same thing. Alrighty, Elise, do you want to tell us your final rating?
Yes. I think I'm gonna keep it. I gave it 3.5 stars. 3.5
Oh,
stars. And I think
okay.
it's because it was really fun. I liked the mystery. I liked the publishing commentary, but
Yeah.
I think I wanted it to lean a little bit more Knives Out, like to be a little bit more zany, a little bit more outwardly funny. It was somewhere in between, and I think a lot of the times it like threw me off. Like I feel
Okay.
like it wasn't like a very serious mystery, but it also wasn't like a zany mystery. It was somewhere in between, and I wish she just would have gone full zany.
Gotcha. All right. I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. I was having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a good time. There was like no time in which I was bored in this book.
No. No. Did you listen to the audiobook?
Yeah, I listened back and forth.
This audiobook, I couldn't listen as fast as I wanted to because everybody had a different accent.
Yeah, the narrator herself had a British accent, so the
Yeah.
default was British, and then this woman was doing an American accent and like a Scottish
Scottish.
accent,
Yeah.
and it was so there was a lot going back and forth. I would
Yeah.
agree. I had to listen to it a little bit slower too.
Yep. All right. Elise, do you want to tell us what we're reading next?
For the next book, we're reading Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke, which is a bit of a it book right now.
Yeah.
I've just started it, but I think it's kind of just from the few chapters that I read, it's giving me a little bit like a mixture of maybe Girl Dinner and The Compound. I don't know. There's something going
Yep.
on here. There's definitely like a trad wife social commentary that we're going through. And I think it's interesting. And it is this woman's debut novel, and it was published and then immediately optioned by Anne Hathaway. And so, like,
Oh, someone said that
yeah,
at work the other day,
yeah,
and I was telling them that I was reading it, and they were like, "Oh, that new Anne Hathaway
yeah,
movie or something," and I was like, what? What are you talking about?"
it was immediately optioned. So
That's great, though. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm interested to see what it is, and we'll obviously get into more detail, and I'll look more into the author once I'm done reading it. I don't want to like
Yeah.
spoil anything by figuring out
Yep.
what her deal is.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's going to be our next read.
I'm
And then I think
excited.
after that, I think we're going to get back into some romantasy because Fury Bound is coming
Well,
out.
Elise, I don't know if you know, next week is actually a pretty big week. It's Fury Bound is
Yeah,
coming out, the sequel to Dire Bound, and then Broken Dove, the
I know.
sequel to
I, s-
Silver Elite is coming
I-
out.
and then of course later in the year is going to be Sarah J. Maas and stuff like that. I think
Is gonna be the second
yeah,
Daggermouth book.
yeah, and there's another one that oh wait, I actually have my reading journal handy. Hold on, I can tell you. 'Cause I wrote down like a lot of the releases all the way until like December. I got The Parade of Horribles, which is the new Dungeon Crawler Carl book, but that's just for me. And then The Wake of the Ruined, which is the In the Veins of the Drowning. That comes
Ooh.
out in July.
Nice.
I know. So like I think
We got a lot of good books coming
we
up.
got a lot of good books coming, and I feel like we've strayed from our what both of us would probably say our core genre
Yeah.
is, which is like fantasy romantasy, which I think is good. I've been like loving all of the books we've been reading. I'm not mad about it, but I think we're about to go a deep dive right back in. Like this summer
Yep.
is
It's
release
gonna
after
be a lot.
release after release.
All right, remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, no genre shaming unless it's funny. Bye.
Bye.